Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst, and today I bring to you the deep dive on Trevanent for the Ultra Premier Classic. You guys are probably wondering why I did this the day after I released my top teams. Well, it's just so you kind of have it. You probably already have a little bit of an idea, so let's do a deep dive if you've been using this or if you've encountered it a lot in Ultra Premier Classic. As I always say, please consider contributing to PvPoke.com. So because of the fact this thing has an amazing amount of amazing typing and pretty great stats, it has overtaken as the #1 Pokemon in Ultra Premier Classic. Is it OP? Yes, however, not so OP against things such as basically anything that double resist normal type or triple resist if it's an Obstagoon, which is even worse for you. You're prone to death by Ice Age, and of course, Barney is going to destroy you. Yes, I remember you in the comments. Don't forget. Barney is pink, not purple. Dragonite is not purple when it's shiny. It is green, and it is orange. Imagine a pink Dragonite, though. That would be pretty cool. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Would you like a pink Dragonite? And of course, thick boy / girl Snorlax will absolutely ruin your day if you are using a Ghost Tree against a normal type. But as you see, it's the most powerful lead and switch overall, and it's literally one away from the most powerful closer. It has a great overall stat product, great attack, great stamina, so you're going to win CMP against a lot of things. High stamina stat, no XLs required. Rank 1 is 10, 15, 15. However, a second move will cost 75k dust, so just keep in mind, it is very powerful, great movesets, etc. We're going to explore why the heck this thing is so good in Ultra Premier Classic. Alright, so here are the leads with Trevanent. In the 2 shield, it is incredibly powerful, and in my opinion, you should probably use it as a lead, because this beats all of this at the bottom, except for this. America's Burb is very strong, and unfortunately, that doesn't change at all. And as you see, it beats all. Basically, what I'm trying to say is Trevanent beats a lot of other leads. 9 times out of 10, you will probably win the lead unless your opponent's using an opposing counter to Trevanent or you face the mirror. So, using it in the lead, it's the #1 lead. It beats practically a lot of the, well, a majority of the Ultra Premier Classic lead meta. However, you're going to probably see a switch up because all of these have very strong ratings against it. A 377 rating is absolutely terrible for you if you face it in the lead. That's why it's pretty optimal that you have a Trevanent with 2 counters to normal types / ice types, or any normal types, ice types, or just use Machamp. That's basically what I'm saying. Machamp, go Machamp. Machamp pairs very well with Trevanent. Now, as far as save switches goes, Trevanent is also the #1 save switch. Not surprising, right? So the thing, what's kind of bad and why I don't like using it as a save switch is because of the fact Snorlax walls you, or Obstagoon basically. So it doesn't necessarily wall you because, well, it doesn't technically wall you because you could Seed Bomb, but Shadow Ball and Shadow Claw being resisted is terrible, and you're not going to win that matchup anyways. It's very strong as a switch, though. You can pressure shields, or you can just do as much chip as you can. You can throw Trevanent into a or if you had a Snorlax thrown into your Trevanent, do as much chip as you can, farm it down with Machamp, and hopefully Machamp and whatever's in your back row or the fighter can take the match. Not a bad idea to use this save switch, but in my opinion, it better functions as a lead. And I don't even have to search it up like a Google search for you to find Trevanent in the closers. But put some respect on my Electric DK Gorilla Donkey Kong Shadow Angry. Basically, Shadow Electivire is still a boss. And it's the #1. It's still the #1. But it loses to Trevanent. That's why I cry. Because Shadow Electivire is so squishy, one Shadow Ball will wipe you from the face of the earth. It will be like a Mario game. Except you die. You die pretty convincingly. There's no, you ain't got a shot. But it is the #2 closer. As you see, very powerful against Swampert. Beats out so many things. You're still prone to dying against things like Charmers. Of course, Kingdra or anything that will nuke you will basically it's basically GG's. But Trevenant is still an incredibly powerful closer. Shadow Ball does so much damage that if it's not resisted, 9 times out of 10, if you have some chip, or if it's like halfway dead, you might die. Unless it's super tanky, but Trevanent can do the job, and again, it does well as the number 2 closer in Ultra Premier Classic. Alright, so as you see here, this is the part you probably all skipped to, it's the pvpoke.com matrix. We have the Ultra Premier Classic meta to the right, and then we have Trevanent. We have the default, a rank 1, and I have one with foul play. So, with foul play, you don't use this variation, it's just here for science, okay? For science. Science is good. We have the 2 shields, we're gonna hit battle, and then as you see here, here's what you line up with. This is why Trevanent is such an incredible lead. Look at all those wins! So you beat Ampharos, of course, because you resist electric types. You're also able to defeat Driftblim, Empoleon, Excavalier, Ferrothorn, both versions of Gallade, Gengar, Big Slug Dragon, Jelly Man or female, depending on which one you have. You also beat Kingdra in the 2 shield, so you can throw Trevenant into a Kingdra if you want to, because it beats it in 2 shield, as you see here. Also Machamp, because it resists it, as well as Politoed, Poliwrath, Roserade, Fighters, Slowbro, sadly. Psychic is weak against Ghost. Mudboys die. Tangrowth's resisted, except for Rockslide. Rockslide still sucks a little bit. You essentially wall Toxicroak, and you beat Venusaur in the 2 shield. Very, very strong. However, as you see here, you have very bad ratings against Abomasnow, Charizard, Charmers in general. Charmer 2 shield strats, you're gonna have to sacrifice Trevenant unless you see something like a Wigglytuff. If you see a Wigglytuff, I don't know if they're insane, but Wigglytuff would do very well against you. But as you see against most of all their Charmers, Trevenant doesn't really stand too much of a chance. In the 2 shield, unfortunately, Sylveon just able to really just charm its way down. You'll break both of its shields, so you'll go down from it, but that Sylveon will still have a very healthy amount of... It's very healthy. And they have to shield your Seed Bombs anyways, but... and what sucks is that 3 turns of difference, well, sucks for your opponent. You can actually flip this matchup. So in the 2 shield with Sylveon, if Shadow Claws, so if you have, if you have 2 Shadow Claws in, or like if they lag for even just a little bit, you beat this combination. So the Sylveon matchup is very close. But other than that, generally what Grass and Ghost type Pokemon will lose to, you will lose to in the 2 shield as well. But you beat so many leads or have play against them that Trevenant is incredibly powerful. Again, your opponent 9 times out of 10 will shield its moves because Shadow Ball sucks if you go for it. That, or if you get the mirror, you can use a high IV one to win CMP and then win the match. So it's really up to you. Still prone to the Charm 2 shield strat, but other than that, Trevenant is the #1 lead for a reason. Being able to defeat so many things, even if you have foul play, you don't have to have Shadow Ball. You can actually do something without Shadow Ball, and you still do really well in the 2s. Don't use it though. Like, you need Seed Bomb and Shadow Ball. Like, it's really good. Unless you're doing like a tournament, it's not in your best interest to change the standard moveset. Alright, so the 2 shield's pretty good, right? Well, guess what happens in the 1 shield? You actually pick up a lot of stuff. You have a chance to beat Charizard. Clefable has no idea what it's doing on Mount Moon. In other words, you do beat it in the 1 shield. You'll also beat Sylveon's still kind of the same matchup. As you see, it's still really close. But generally, Trevenant is still able to beat, it picks up a lot of things in the 1 shield. Again, you pick up Charizard, you pick up Clefable. You are also able to beat pretty much everything you did before, just that way more convincingly. And in certain, okay, so here's what happens. In a rank 1, this is super IV dependent. In the 1 shield, you can actually beat Lapras. Straight Seed Bomb. Mind you, if they get 1 Ice Shard through, they can win. But this is where IVs in a very specific situation matters. Again, very specific. If you have a rank 1, there's a very small chance that you are able to straight Seed Bomb Lapras in the 1 shield. Small chance. But it's still, chances. Go Battle Lag is mighty and nothing can stop it. It's undefeated, undisputed, and undisputed. As you see here, it's very strong. In the 1 shield, you also will pick up Typhlosion. So you might be able to do a strategy where you leave Trevenant in the back, force the 1 shield, and then in the 1 shield, what your opponent thinks would normally beat you actually loses to Trevenant in the 1s, just because it gets stronger. But I don't recommend that. Just put Trevenant in the lead and play it out. That'll be a lot better. But as you see, Trevenant does better in the 1 shield than it does in the 2 shields. Alright, last but not least, we have the 0 shield scenario. In other words, if you're gonna use Shadow Ball, Shadow Ball. Other than that, if it's weak to Seed Bomb, it's your best interest to Seed Bomb. But as you see here, everything you pretty much are convincingly supposed to beat, you do beat. There's a lot of instances in the zeros though where if you can farm down stuff, overcharge a little bit, and then you can get to a Shadow Ball. Because you win CMP, use that to your advantage. Have great energy management, use your Shadow Claws, and then literally ball out. Ball out like it's E40 party EDC Las Vegas. If you know what I'm talking about, you party pretty dang hard. Anyways, zeros. Zeros is pretty much like the ones and the twos. Not anything super notable. I would say something with foul play is that you do beat Gengar. You are able to beat Gengar in the zeros, but generally you don't want Trevenant versus Gengar anyways unless you have energy advantage, because Shadow Punch / Shadow Ball, or it really sucks basically. However, the good little tidbit here is against things like Shadow Abomasnow, if you do have a little bit of energy, you can actually flip this matchup just because of Shadow Ball. Of course, if you do have shield advantage, for example, if you're in a 1-0s, you're vibing because you beat a majority of the meta, other than what double resist you, as in like Snorlax and Obstagoon, or like Alolan Muck, because Alolan Muck does resist Ghost types. It's basically, you basically mow down the entirety of the Ultra Premier Classic meta. Even worse in the 2-0s. In the 2-0s, nothing stops you except Alolan Muck and Snorlax. So a 2,000-pound-ton Pokemon that has blocked your Pokemon journey for several years unless you use the Poké Flute, and then Alolan Muck. Well, it's the Poison Jab version just because for some odd reason, well, yeah, for some odd reason, if you use the Poison Jab Acid Spray version, you lose, but you beat the Snarl version, so it's not that bad. It just really depends. In the 2-to-1 shield advantage scenario, if you look at over here, it's very similar to the 1 shield. Well, not the 1 shield actually, very similar to the 2 shield. Basically, if you have shield advantage, it's basically like the 1-0s, as you see here. You're only gonna lose against Alolan Muck with Poison Jab, as well as both variants of Snorlax. So having shield advantage, or just a shield up with a Trevenant, is extremely powerful. You could essentially save your shields with Trevenant, and as long as you don't see a Snorlax or Alolan Muck with Poison Jab and Acid Spray, you'll be able to beat or take down a majority of the meta. In other words, this thing is very strong. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this really opens your eyes and just lets you see just how powerful this Ghost Tree really is. Yes, it's good, but there are a few picks out there. You're probably going to see a bunch of Snorlaxes and Obstagoons in everyone's teams just to counter Trevenants. Or if you aren't, it's in your best interest to have one on your team, just because having one makes you laugh against this Halloween tree. But that doesn't deny the fact that with shield advantage, Trevenant is incredibly powerful, and in the 2-0s, you beat everything but Snorlax or Alolan Muck with Poison Jab and Acid Spray. Spawn's very, very powerful, and it essentially just flipped the entire meta on its head. I don't know why you would do this. It's like such bad timing too, because of the fact that some of you probably were getting used to your Ultra Premier Classic teams. Not to say your previous teams won't work, you're just gonna have to adjust a little bit for Trevenant. Again, Trevenant is still beatable. There's a lot of ways to beat it. If you hard counter the other two Mons, 9 times out of 10, you're probably gonna beat this thing in the closer still. It's still beatable. Nothing in Go Battle League is invincible unless it's a Zoomerl in Season 1. Then it's just going to piss you... Well, not even a Zoomerl in Season 1, but, like, it's really annoying other than that. Other than that, this team is very powerful. Again, you have the option of getting one traded to you, and then you could evolve it for free. And then, well, yeah, evolve it without paying 200 candy, and then you can power it up from there. But this tree is very powerful. Best used in the lead or switch, or you can leave into the back with shields. And as you see in the 1-0s or the 2-1s, it goes to town. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this did teach you a few things about Trevenant. Again, IVs don't matter too much. If you're looking at the IV spread, just use having one beats generally everything you're going to encounter, unless it's very specific scenarios. With great energy management, you will be able to build up multiple seed bombs or double up on Shadow Balls. So hopefully you have that type of practice. If you're a good enough player, it will do very well for you. If you do me a huge favor, please like and subscribe. To subscribe, all you have to do is put your mouse over that little box on the bottom right, pop up the sub tab. I really appreciate my current subscribers. Love you guys. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.
Charmander!